C'est la voix de la liberté, la radio.
Asibi has come to embody freedom for many people in Burkina Faso. Here, he's meeting with Senegalese civil rights activists. Earlier this year, Congolese intelligence officials imprisoned them after they spoke at a civil rights congress. So there's a sense of relief as the activists reunite in Ouagadougou. We met in a hotel in Congo. We were invited to a conference on civic involvement. They said they were from EN Amar. I was excited to get to know them. We then performed together at the conference and were together in jail. Today is the first time we're meeting again. Asibi has invited the Senegalese activists to take part in a meeting of a local citizens group called Palier Citoyen in a suburb of Ouagadougou. The members are glad to have visitors. Together they shout the group's slogans. It has to be possible to do away with slavery. We have done that. It has to be possible to end colonization. The Africans have done that. And it also has to be possible to stop those presidents who want to stay in power forever. The group aims to improve the lives of local people. They spent a whole day collecting a huge pile of rubbish in the suburb Karpala. They explained to the market women why garbage shouldn't be left lying around. That's very good. We believe that cleanliness and hygiene is good for all of us. They've now donated 4 garbage cans to help the situation. It's hardly enough, but good for publicity through social media. Later on, they're setting up a solidarity concert in the evening. It's open air and free of charge for members and sympathizers. This is a concert for freedom. I've been invited to sing for freedom, democracy, and human rights. Because that's what I stand for. It's a great platform for Asibi and his band to play their music. But more than that, the activists want to use their concerts to spread their political message to other countries.
Nigeria's Niger Delta region, where the black gold continues to flow and fuel Africa's largest economy, where the line between wealth and poverty has never been thinner. Oil, gas, politics, development, and community issues all are highly valuable commodities in the Niger Delta. How do they combine, and how can they work together to spawn a new era in the Niger Delta? Join ace broadcaster Mahmoud Akuga on NTA2 every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. as he probes deep to analyze issues in the region from angles never before explored. For sponsorship and participation, call us on 080-584-75898 or 080-205-40134. Inside the Niger Delta with Mahmoud Akuga, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region.
Hello, it's good to have you join us again for your favorite program. This is actually a primetime show that everybody all over the world, because of digital availability, you can be a part of what we are doing here today. We are unveiling again yet another distinguished Nigerian, this time around actually a very honored Nigerian for that matter, friend of the house, a family member. Actually, where many of you get to see her, you will now want to reconnect, knowing that, well, this is somebody that is a proven veteran in this field, in this creative sector. But before we raise too much heart to her, you know, let's also look at what we should be doing today. So much has been said about the humongous creative capacity of Nigeria, but oftentimes we end up saying potentials. We don't seem to have realized any of those potentials, or we don't seem to have positioned Nigeria to actually either exhibit how to convert those potentials into reality, or to share that potentials with the rest of the world, and therefore gain some kind of international collaboration or investment. So which sector are we looking at this time around? Incidentally, our distinguished guest actually is a member of the Federal Republic. That is a national honor that she received for performing excellently well in all the assignments given to her, including being the chairman of a board. I will not mention all those things before some people start. Okay? So are we saying to ourselves, for instance, that can Nigeria be rated as one of the most visited destinations in Africa or in the world? Can we also find a way to assuage the way we are pushing our economic drive, if Nigeria can attract mass tourism to heritage, cultural events and sites across Nigeria? So, are we looking at tourism as an element of sustainable economic growth and the prospect for this country? Now, rest of the world, after the pandemic, everybody is trending that I must travel. I want to see the rest of the world. I don't want pandemic to finally eliminate what I should see globally. So about 70% of the American population are priming that 2022 they must go visit a site outside of America. Can Nigeria be one of those sites? Are we positioned to get those interested Americans, eager Americans, adventurous Americans to come here and see what we have for our country? So we are looking at tourism and our society. Where are the problems? Where are the prospects? You will stay with me when you get to meet who our distinguished guest is. Stay with us.
Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
Thank you for staying with us. It's interesting that you're going to meet a distinguished Nigerian who is an expert, as it were, a seasoned professional in broadcast media. Can you see? Some 35 years ago or thereabout, she actually started from here. She actually sat on a chair like this, like me. She presented several shows, but one particular one, we will talk about that show, because that show is still trending up to today, 35 years after. That tells you something. She's also, a seasoned expert in culture, tourism, information, and social environment. Because all those aspects of our lives, she actually sat there and helped us to pen out some of the things, guidelines that we needed to do to succeed as a country. So my pleasure to welcome on your behalf, well, she is my friend and my sister and my admirable colleague, so I just call her by her name, Omotayo Omotosho. You're welcome to Close Flow.
Thank you very much, my brother. Good to see you again.
You see that broadcast voice? You see, it is still there. You can't dilute it. There's no way you can run away from that. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, let's go back first. You are thickly involved in what we say about Nigerian tourism assets, potentials, capacities, and all that. So what are the problems? Why are we not translating from potentials to reality? Why we are still speaking of potentials?
Thank you. Really, it's a bit unfortunate. It's unfortunate because what we have experienced in the industry is lack of continuity. While I was there 22 years ago, my brother, we were able to transform potentials to real assets. And when I left
22 years ago,
I was appointed Director General,
yes,
Nigeria Tourism, year 2000.
Yes.
It looked like yesterday. It was when I was coming to the studio. I said, wait a minute. I was asking myself, wait a minute, you were DG when 22 years ago, and by God's grace, whether they're talking of tourism or culture or art, still today, they would beckon on me to come and say something, to have a take.
Yes.
Why is that so? Because Nigerians saw that we did tourism with every iota of blood in us. Tourism promotion must be a deliberate, committed, concerted effort. That I had to tell.
It's not a plaything.
It's not a plaything at all. I had to beg my husband when I took the job that, sweetheart, you may not see me often in Lagos, because we live in Lagos and the assignment was in Abuja.
Yes.
But be rest assured that I'm doing a national assignment that will make every Nigeria proud of the sector. So you may not see me as often as before. And he said, why not? I donate it to Nigeria for now. And he gave me all the support. He took charge of the children and my mother while I was busy doing national assignments in Abuja. What did we do? We realized that we were tired of potentials. So what I did was to make it a point of duty to visit state governors that were ready for tourism. Not all states were ready. And I knew in partnership with the state governors we'll go places. So the first place I visited was Cross River, Donald Duke. And everybody knows Donald Duke for tourism. Till today they call him Mr. Tourism of Nigeria.
Yes.
By the time I got to Don, as we call him, Don said, Tayo, don't worry, that's my passion. How can we work together? How can the national agency collaborate with us? Because this is what we want to drive deliberately in Cross River. So we worked so closely together. And that's why we came up with a tourism circuit. Tourism circuit. We're not promoting just one tourism.
Yes.
In Cross River, they were blessed with all facets of tourism. Sport tourism, culture tourism, adventure tourism, eco-tourism, fashion tourism, cuisine tourism, name it, my brother. It's as if God deliberately deposited all those things there. And we went to town with it. We worked closely together. We developed it. See Tinapa. Donald did a beautiful job with Tinapa. When they were commissioning it, I and my team came from Abuja together with the president. It was under OBJ to commission it. And it was such a beauty to behold. Investors already came. It's not as if we're thinking that they will come
all over the world.
From all over the world. But what happened to Tinapa after Donald left?
20 years after.
20 years after. The administration that took over did not see a reason to continue with that beautiful project. And so Tinapa is a ghost of itself now, with all the investment that was plowed into it. The same with Nigerian tourism. A lot of things we did, I would have expected our predecessors to make sure that they continue with it, because it's not a personal business. It's not a personal business. It's a national assignment. And that glory will go to Nigeria as a nation and Nigerians.
Now, so there's something, so where is the slack coming from? Now we have expertise like yours. You perform for a while, then when you exit, what happens? So we don't have the knots to make us see that this person, all the landmarks already created should be. We don't seem to have that. We don't have that.
Should be continued. Yes. There should be continuity, and it's so sad Because it's not to tourism alone. In all sectors of our economy.
So it's systemic.
It's systemic. You go do a good job, people know that you did it, people give you an endorsement. The Nigerian government knew that all I was doing was think, sleep, eat, tourism. They knew. And that's why we were able to get the highest number of tourist traffic into Nigeria.
At that time.
At that time. I worked with the Federal Office of Statistics. I just didn't want to go on the pages of newspaper and television and be saying, I'm doing tourism, I'm doing tourism. Let us see the facts. And that's why when I was there, God in his infinite mercy made it so easy for me. The very first time a first African would win the most beautiful pageant in the world, Miss World.
Yes.
So we made her the trademark to promote Nigeria tourism. And she was more than ready. She was more than ready. I told the Miss World organizers in the UK to please release our own daughter for me, Agbani Darego,
yes,
that I want her to come to Nigeria and explore what we got to offer, so that when she's talking in front of the world press,
yes,
she will be able to talk authoritatively. She will be able to market her nation. And we did that so beautifully well. You won't believe what happened when we took her to the biggest tourism exhibition in the world. They call it ITB Berlin,
yes,
in Germany. The fact that we got Miss World at the Nigerian exhibition stand,
yes,
every country left their own stall to come and line up in front of Nigeria stand to get the autograph of Miss World, to inquire.
Yes.
And we didn't just go there accidentally. We did a lot of homework. I commissioned the best photographer to go to the best of our tourism assets, to take pictures,
yes,
document them. You and I in the television industry, audiovisual,
yes,
we did quite a lot of promos, quite a lot of visuals to let them see in pictorial terms what we're talking about. So we're playing it every second. And so the inquiry was much. Everybody wanted to visit Nigeria. And we made sure that by the time they were converging in front of Nigeria stand, something significant happened. They were so enthused that they were not orderly. There was so much crowd.
Yes.
And so they were almost stepping on one another. I saw my operatives, my management team that came with us, telling them on the line, please fall in line, fall in line. We don't want any stampede here. We're a bunch of well-behaved and orderly men and women in Nigeria. You want to see Miss World? Don't worry, you will. Say, please fall in line. I felt so proud. I felt so proud.
The crowd that would have been at Jankara, you are now...
I'm telling you, that was the crowd that thought we were the Jankaras.
Yes, yes.
We're now telling them we're not Jankaras.
Now, so towards a greater Nigeria. Now, this is something you have been saying for a long time. So how do we take advantage? How do we, as citizens, how do we now, take up the responsibility of getting that greater Nigeria? Because right now, the slacks are too many, and we seem to be running the cycles of slacks everywhere. Because, like you said, it is now almost systemic. If you're not careful, Nigeria may not actually become one of the greatest nations on the face of the earth. So how are we going to
get there?
Yes.
Well, to get there is not reinventing the wheel. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. If every Nigerian takes what he or she is supposed to do seriously, and they do it with all sense of commitment for the greater good
of Nigeria,
not for individual benefit, for the greater good, we'll get there. Towards a Greater Nigeria had been a television public enlightenment show for several years. But about 2 years ago, we realized that we don't want it to be just a talk show alone. We want it to metamorphose into a foundation. And by God's grace, there's a foundation now. Because a lot of Nigerians approach me when they see me on the plane, at the airports, at the marketplace, at the shopping mall. Madam, we like what you do. We like what you do, but towards a Greater Nigeria on TV is fine. It's illuminating. We get to know what Nigerian government is doing in all sectors of the economy. But there are so many poor people. There are so many poor people that desire better life. There is so much poverty in the land. There is so much unemployment. How would you be able to address such what do you call it? Yes, such issues, so that we can feel the fact that we are moving towards a better Nigeria. So that informed our setting up as a foundation. And it's good to be responsive to the public. You cannot say because your program is so popular, it's so well known, you close your ears to the yearnings of the people. It's their program. So their, what do you call it, feedbacks.
Yes.
Their comments go a long way. And that was what informed us to setting it up as a foundation. And what do? We make sure that we look at those areas that we need prompt intervention. One, our teeming Nigerian graduates. Thank you. Teeming Nigerian graduates looking for jobs.
33 million by last count.
I make sure. You're very right. So we make sure we interface. I know quite a lot of friends that are in the government and out of government. I believe when God gives you the opportunity to serve, it's not for your selfish end. It is also to be able to impact the lives of majority. So it's so easy for us with the pedigree that God had placed me over the years to talk with my DG colleagues, the chief executives of federal parastatals,
Yes.
their directors general, like me while I was there.
Yes.
And I have a good relationship
Really?
with them. So easily we send names of those looking for jobs. We look at the CVs, we look at their qualification. The ones that we make it very, very paramount, that's priority to us, are those that graduated with second class upper division, first class, and yet they don't have a job. So we tell them, if you have let my people go, I don't spare them. If you have let my people go, like third class, you will have to wait. Those that went to university to study,
Yeah.
not to play,
Yeah.
they desire and they deserve to be treated first. And so those are the ones we attend to. And we send it to the retinue of DGs and chief executive parastatals.
And
And
they respond.
of course, they respond.
Okay, so that is a great one. Now, let's come back to what the tourism assets or the touristic asset that we have in Nigeria. If you can give us a profile. Virtually every area in Nigeria, from
Is
the
blessed.
north to the south, from the east to the west.
It's
So,
blessed. Let me give you a profile.
Yes.
The profile is at the tip of my fingers. Let's look at the 6 geopolitical zones.
Yes.
Starting from the southwest, Nigeria is blessed with so many tourism potentials and assets. From Lagos, we have the Eyo Masquerade. We had the Black Heritage Festival, which former governor Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu propagated. Initiated and propagated it so committedly that we did quite a lot of partnership with him. We would come from Abuja to work with his own operatives. The commissioner for tourism then and waterfront was Akim Bajabiamila. And believe you me, the Black Heritage Festival became a household name. We had visitors from all over the world coming to witness Black Heritage Festival on an annual basis. What has happened to that? This was a baby of Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu.
And now?
And it was a very good one.
And now?
And now it's no longer. I remember when Fashola was there, Fashola continued. But after Fashola, we wouldn't know what happened to it again. That is what we need to revisit. Because all American mayors from America, they were so interested in it and were coming every year with their own paraphernalia to come witness the Black Heritage Festival and go back to spread the news. To Europe, to Far East Asia, we must come back. From the Black Heritage Festival, we shouldn't forget the Osun Osogbo, which has become a World Heritage Site.
Yes.
It's not
UNESCO.
easy. Yes, it's not easy to be accredited by UNESCO. So it's been accredited, and I know that the Oni of Ife is so passionate about this. That is our traditional leader that is leaving no stone unturned, because he had called me not once, not twice to say, Madam Tourism, come, we have to work together, and I salute his sense of commitment. From Osun-Osogbo, talking of Southwest, the beautiful Ikogosi Warm Spring, very therapeutic. I was feeling a bit of malaria early today, and I was telling a friend of mine, I wish I could go to the therapeutic. I wish I could go there.
But seriously, the water is quite healing.
I'm telling you, very, very healing. I've known Ikogosi ever before I even became tourism DG, because my mother worked in Ado Ekiti. So mommy would take all of us on an excursion to Ikogosi, not knowing that several years after I will have the singular privilege to become DG Tourism. That is for Southwest. What has happened to it? I'm happy that during the time of Governor Fayose and the person that took over after him, they saw a reason to start bottling pure water.
From there?
Yes, from there. So they call it Gosi,
yes.
Gosi water.
Yeah.
And I know Gosi water is still on till
Yes.
today, but we can do even beyond that. We can do more. We leave Southwest, we go to Idori Hills. I shouldn't forget that. That was my Southwest people. Madam Tourism, you forgot Idori Hills. Idori Hills, it's a beautiful sight to behold. By the time you start climbing the hills, you know that you're in another world. These are the things other nations of the world sell to visitors.
So we should internationalize it. That's what you're saying.
We should. From Southwest, we go to Southeast. In Southeast, we have the Ogunike Caves. We have the Arochukwu, Long
Yes,
Juju.
yes.
We have the colorful boat regatta,
Yes.
South-South. I've matched the Southeast and South-South together now. Colorful boat regatta. We have the New Yam Festival. These are tourism products that we must go to town with. During my time, I was working deliberately with each of the state governors. And they knew that Madam Tourism means business. And they supported us. We did quite a lot together, and everybody was hearing tourism, thinking that the president was giving us money to do tourism, not knowing that the state governors were equally committed.
Funding, yes.
We're equally committed. Yes, the president will give us what you have within the budgetary allocation.
Yes.
He cannot give
More
beyond
than that, yes.
budgetary allocation. But we also brought private sector participation
Into it.
It was during my time I pioneered public-private sector participation for tourism, and we call them Corporate Partners for Tourism Development, CPTD. Corporate Partners for Tourism Development. And it
Smart,
worked.
yes, smart.
It worked. A lot of multinationals were joining us. They knew we were serious, so they were ready to work with us. A lot of captains of industry, name it,
Yeah,
bank chief
yes.
executives, finance institutions. So we had a lot of people on board. And so there was no dull moment. Anytime we went outside Nigeria to market Nigeria, tourism is all about marketing what you have. It's not just a tourist site. I'm happy you mentioned it when you talk about creative heritage.
Yes.
The creative subsector of the tourism industry has a lot to do with tourism. So it's not just a physical site alone. So we did quite a lot. We left Southeast and South-South. We went to North
Middle
Central.
Belt, yes.
Yeah, Middle Belt. The Benue Swange dances. Anytime I'm describing it, I can see myself dancing it. The Swange colorful dances with the traditional outfit. Oh, what a sight to behold. And then, of course, they also have Yams Festival.
Food basket.
Exactly, food basket of the nation, they call it. From there, we go to the famous Durbar Festival, where you will see horses dressed like individuals, like human beings. It's amazing. It doesn't happen in any other nation of the world.
That's true.
It's peculiar to my nation.
Yes.
It's unique to us.
Yes.
So we should be proud of it and go to town with it. We cannot keep quiet and say we want the GDP of Nigeria to increase and we fold our eyes from tourism. Tourism is a gold mine. It's a gold mine. We leave the Durbar Festival, we go to the Sokoto Caliphate itself.
yes.
It's a touristic asset to
Yes.
behold. And so I shouldn't forget talking about the Kebbi Arugungu Fishing Festival. I took it upon myself to visit the governor at that time, Governor Alero, who later became senator.
Yes.
And Governor Alero was very ready to promote tourism. As soon as I got there, he said, "My sister, you will please help me train my own tourism board. I have a tourism board, but most of them are green. You please help me train." I said, "No problem at all. Ours is to build capacity."
And that
that's why
actually also activates the
the tourism asset of that state. And that was why Arugungu came back to life. Throughout his tenure, Arugungu was hosted every year. And we had visitors coming from all over the world. And all of us will be there. And you know, the Federal Office of Statistics will give me the data again that, oh, the tourist traffic is increasing by the day. As soon as we left, I wouldn't know what happened to it.
Now, okay, one thing you have said that you have captured in all this profiling is the fact that tourism is actually an aspect of our society. It's part of our living experiences. It's part of how we are,
It
what
is.
defines us as a people.
Yes.
So why do we therefore explain this disconnection that you're talking about? How would that? Why should that?
Why
Is
should
that
they
not
dis-
irresponsible?
Well, it's not just irresponsible, it is suicidal.
It is suicidal.
My heart bleeds. My heart bleeds.
We are more or less killing ourselves. That's what you're saying.
We're killing ourselves. And we're saying Nigeria is poor. There's no money in circulation. The GDP has shrunk. This and that. Why would our income, the revenue we generate, why wouldn't it shrink?
Yes.
When this is a gold mine that you and I, everybody, we don't leave it to the government alone. Both the government and
the
private,
people.
yes, we must do it together. It's a norm for us to be able to evolve the great Nigeria that we're thinking of and we're dreaming about. We cannot ignore tourism. We cannot, whether we like it or not, oil will dry up. Oil will dry up. We don't even refine in Nigeria. We export to other refineries. So how much are we making from that? We must get our refineries to work for us to be able to earn quality returns on oil, and we must develop our tourism. As rightly said, we can't continue talking of potentials. It should be assets now. The ones that we were able to transform to assets, it should be revisited.
Okay, well, some people have listed some problems militating against the
Tourism.
evolution of tourism in Nigeria, and one of the critical problems would be poor infrastructure, that we don't have the right infrastructure, and therefore we cannot. Then we now have the rampaging question of terrorism and security challenges now. So,
how do we combat that?
yes, how do we?
Well,
from your own experience.
Yes, from my own experience, it's very, very germane that we do have this two handicap. But I wouldn't say that they cannot be surmounted. Basic tourism infrastructure was what the president, excuse me,
Yes, please.
our current president and Minister Information, Culture and Tourism, Lai Mohammed, told us at the presidential briefing on the activities of the ministry that they are now looking at the budget in terms of the amount of money earmarked from one ministry to the other. That for the sector where we are, they want to do what we call funding of basic tourism infrastructure. Because I recall 2 years ago at the presidential briefing, I was there. Minister was there, Information, Finance Minister, and a lot of other ministers. And I got up and I talked. I said, for us to be able to get the desired revenue from tourism, we must address the issue of tourism infrastructure. We don't have tourism infrastructures attached to specific tourism sites.
Subsectors, yes.
Exactly, subsectors. So it must be deliberate, mark my word. I said at the beginning of this program, it must be a deliberate effort. We're looking at Obunike Caves, for instance. Do we have accessible roads to get there? Do we have the basic transportation network to get there? We're looking at Obudu, Tourist Ranch. When Governor Duke was there, he created tourism infrastructure. He did not just make sure that we have easy access to the beautiful tourism facility, because they had link aircrafts from Calabar to Obudu.
Yes.
Because by road is about 6 hours, if not more, very far. So they had shuttle aircrafts that will go there, that will take people there. It was a deliberate thing. And so people were coming. And then, of course, the flight to Cross River itself became so regular. From Lagos, from Abuja, you could fly. So except we do deliberate provision of tourism infrastructure, we wouldn't get there. So when I now made that point at the presidential briefing, the minister reacted to it and said, oh yes, good point, madam, good point. Yes, it's part of what they're looking at. That was 2 years ago. And then last year, they invited us again, and we got there. And he now told us that they have now earmarked specific budget to fund specific tourism infrastructure.
That's where we are still.
Yes, that's where we're still.
We are still waiting for the briefing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. the conversation is always about you. You can see what, Madam Tourism has profiled for us. Your own interest is also part of this. If you don't activate all these elements she's mentioned, then we are being suicidal. That's what she says. So let's see how we can grow the tourism industry, because that is what defines our society. The conversation is about you, so don't forget to join us when we come back. The telephone numbers, let me just give you the numbers right now. So you copy the numbers down, and then when we come back after this break, you call so you can hear Madam Tourism give you a pass mark or a 0. Okay, so the numbers are 080-5975-3044, 080-5975-3044. That is for you to hear our excellent broadcast voice, okay? But if you're experiencing drop calls, then please just SMS or send us WhatsApp message on this dedicated line, 070-3340-8755, 070-3340-8755. This is live on Facebook right now, so all our diasporans, Nigerians, if you are watching from out there, she has told you that she wants to see how Nigerians can bring many people back home, because we have such a huge flow of what visitors will enjoy in this country. That's what she just said. So if you're watching on Facebook, that is on Facebook at NT2 Lagos Network Center, please let us have your comment, then we can read your comment out to her. So now we'll take a break, and when we'll come back, we'll be with you.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
We must dilate the eyes, look for if they have cataract, look at the back of their eyes, they have glaucoma, to do a full workup for them.
You will remember the giant stripe that we made there. You will remember with nostalgia. We're going to be looking deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes.
Every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday, every week here on NT2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
All right, thank you for staying with us. It's still NT2 Lagos Network Center, and we still have Omoto Show, Madam Tourism in the house. She's a family member, and you can see that she's exuding the confidence of a broadcaster, a trained, proven broadcaster. Now, quickly, as we come back, let me quickly stimulate our viewers so they can join this conversation. What would you describe as maybe the most glorious moment when you were DG of that tourism agency? What would you? How would you capture it?
Thank you. I would say I can recall two glorious moments. Many, but two. I'll make it short. The very first one was the ITB Berlin outing, that people now came to respect Nigerians, and they were ready to be on the queue, lined up. They were compelled to be orderly. So it was ironical. It was ironical. It's like they thought we were the ruffians.
Yes.
We're no ruffians. You are the ones acting like ruffians now. Please don't worry. Miss World will serve you. Just be on the queue. And what made it so glorious to me was the following day when the entire world press went agog with that caption, Nigeria's show of glory. Nigeria's show of glory, reporting on the ITB Berlin. Oh, I was overwhelmed. I was thankful to God. And God, when you are with one, you make it easy, especially when God sees how committed you are. Because I was doing tourism, praying, fasting, and doing the work. Because it's one thing for you to be hardworking.
It's another thing
to have the grace. It's the grace that makes it an accomplishment.
Excellent.
Exactly. So I felt so good. I said, Nigeria's show of glory at ITV Berlin. That was when they were still calling us a pariah state. Because Obasanjo came in 1999, I got there in 2000, and ITV Berlin was 2001. So they were still wondering, are they pariah state? Are they tourism friendly? So that was a good stamp to let them know. Say what you care.
Yeah, but this is...
Exactly, this is Nigeria. That's one. And then, of course, Miss World felt so happy and proud being a Nigerian. Because since I brought her into Nigeria, I took her to all the tourism sites and our tourism assets. The state governors and the first ladies were eager to meet with her. Honorary, God bless her, Honorary went to town, Honorary Duke, to sew lovely traditional outfits of Cross River State for her, about 2-3 outfits with everything, the way they decorate their hair and all that. So when she came, she was dressed up in a beautiful fashion tourism costume. So these were the pictures we took over there that made people to be ready to fall in line to have autograph of Miss World. And so that was the very first one, and it exposed Miss World herself and prepared her for any World Press conference. Because she had seen, she had seen with her Korokoro eyes. So we got there, she was talking so confidently. And I sat next to her, and give it to them, give it to them. So that was one. The second one was when we had the Black Heritage Festival with Lagos State Government.
Yes.
And under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we invited all the mayors of America. They all came. Oh, they all came. Over 150 mayors. They came. And we said we would not just develop the Badagry Heritage site. We wouldn't develop Badagry Heritage site alone. Of course, we did it. We got it ready for them. We made sure that they saw the relics in real terms of the slave trade era.
Yes.
And so we said, let's prepare our minds. When these our Americans, brothers and sisters, when they come and they see this, they will break into tears. It will be so emotional.
Yes.
What do we do? What do we give them the following day? Because tourism, as I said, is a deliberate, concerted package. So what do we give them the following day that will make them smile again? That will make them laugh, that will make them happy? And then myself and Akim Bajabiamila, Tourism Commissioner, came up with the traditional naming ceremony, as if they were babies. They needed African names.
We now remember.
We now renamed them, but we didn't do it all by ourselves. We worked with the Oba of Badagry.
Yes.
The traditional ruler in Badagry.
Yes.
He was ready for us. So we did everything so real. I remember most of the mayors, the coordinator then was Errol Bush.
Okay.
A cousin to President Bush.
Yes.
So I remember Errol telling me, Madam DG Tourism, it's you that will give me the name I want to bear because you got taste. You got taste. What name should I bear? I looked at Errol. I said, Errol, it depends on what you want. We have names that start with God.
Yes.
We have names that start with royalty.
Yes.
So we have names that start with deity.
Yes.
So she said, I love the name that starts with royalty. I'm royal, aren't I? I said, yes, you are. If it makes him feel good, yes, you are, hero. They said, what name? I said, why don't I give you a name that is so unique? I don't want Adekunle, Adebayo, Adefemi, Adegboyega. There are a lot of people bear that. You get to see your other mayors coming up with such names. But because you're the one coordinating them, and you are like the mayor of all mayors, let me give you something unique. Say, okay, Tayo, I'm listening. I said, the name I'll give you is Adeyori Jumo. That's my cousin, because we're from the royal family. That's my cousin's name. Yes, which means your own crown towers above
the rest.
all the crowns, all the royalty. So I give him the interpretation. Oh, he was overwhelmed. He said, that's why I like you. You got ideas. Adeyori. So I said, don't make it tongue twisting because it's a long one. We can just call you Adeyori. He said, no, let me call it complete so that when they hear me say it, they will know the meaning. So that was how it became Adeyori Juwon. And today we're still in touch. Whenever I send him a text, that's the name I call him. So it was very, very momentous. All of them came to the Oba's Palace. They had their names, and we did the formal naming ceremony with the state governor.
In attendance.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he did a lot for tourism. And we cannot forget all those things.
Now, it's good for us to relieve all these momentous things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now, but coming back now, this is post-COVID, post-pandemic.
Yeah.
The whole world is now saying, look, I must travel. So how can we position ourselves to be listed amongst the nations to be visited? How do we do that? And we need to do it quickly. What do we do?
You're right. We need to do it quickly. One thing I would expect the federal government to do, since I told you that they're already working on tourism infrastructure.
Yes, please.
Is that of the issue of insecurity and terrorism.
Because if
we don't do that, we're playing. We are playing. We wouldn't be seen as serious in wanting visitors to come to Nigeria. The sensational killings of ourselves in all the 6 geopolitical zones now. No zone is exempted.
No zone is safe.
No zone is safe. No zone is safe. No zone is exempted. The government must do something about insecurity. It's very, very important because the visitors that are coming will first ask themselves, let me choose between Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and Sierra Leone. That's the way they think. Okay, 4 countries in Africa. Which one is the most popular? Nigeria. Which one has the highest population? Nigeria. Which one would offer a wider variety of tourism attractions? Nigeria. And then somebody says, yes, you're saying Nigeria. Which one has the highest level of insecurity? Nigeria. So with that, the person will say, oh, wait a minute.
So I'm not safe?
I'm not safe. I want to go to somewhere I'll be sure when I get back safely to my base. So it's very, very important. In tourism parlance, we have what we call package tours. For package tours, we don't just expose our visitors, our tourists, to all parts of the country.
Okay.
No, we don't. We know the places that are safe. We know the ones that are not safe. We have accredited tour operators because they have an association and a very formidable one.
Yes.
So they call it Nigerian Association of Tourism Operators. So we have the NANTOP and we have the NANTA. So we would normally expect them to work with the Association of Tourism Operators in America, in Asia, in Europe. They must partner for those visitors to come. That was one of the things I developed while I was there. I made sure that the president of the American Association of Tour Operators, Marilyn Melton, at that time, worked so closely with us. And we introduced her to our own national association here, all private sector. So it was easy for visitors to be coming. We should revisit that. There are a lot of things we need to revisit.
Okay, now another thing that is up on the table will be the fact of cultural exchange. You have already given us a hint at that. The mayors, the white or black mayors from America who are being renamed in Nigeria and all that, the costuming and all that. So this cultural exchange, now that we may not have visitors, can't we use the new experienced digital economy to push that story out, to share with the rest of the world and see if that can help us to grow this tourism industry?
Well, it's very, very doable. It's doable. What you're saying basically is promoting cultural tourism. That's what we call it, promoting cultural tourism. And I'm glad to let you know that in our own sphere, though I'm no longer the chief executive of tourism, but I'm still doing tourism. It's a passion for me. So I'm still doing tourism from the private sector. Just a few weeks ago, we had some visitors come from the Caribbean islands. You know, they have package tours, and they have gone so far in the field of tourism over there.
Yes.
As you know, tourism is their mainstay.
Yes.
In actual fact, one of my brothers married a lady from the Caribbean island. So she's so passionate about visiting Nigeria. So it was easy for us to get her to arrange all her friends, all the people that are so eager to know beyond the Caribbean, where they were born and raised, to come. And they came. And a few years ago too, I went to the Caribbean islands to go learn about if there is any difference at all in their culture. And I produced a program that I call, Calling the Caribbean from Africa.
Calling the Caribbeans from Africa. Wow. Wow.
Just to promote tourism.
Yes. That's juxtapositioning what is happening in the Caribbean and
Nigeria. I will send you the filler one of those days. You need to look at it. It was so awesome. Calling the Caribbean from Africa. Wow. And we were able to call our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean to visit Africa. And that's why the Federal Office of Statistics gave us the data. I don't know if they even work with the Federal Office of Statistics today. I don't know. They should.
So all this last must find a way to correct that. Now again, something just occurred to me. What we are having some messages from our viewers. If my technical team can help me so that we can retrieve those messages from our viewers. I think they are on my prompter. No, okay, so let us have them so I can quickly, give them to our guests. Now, we know that the global expectations for the tourism industry for this year, we are looking at $2.1 trillion earnings, travel and leisure spendings. $2.1 trillion.
That's mega. That's mega. How much of it will come to Nigeria?
$2.1 million trillion.
I know your question is how much of it will come to Nigeria. I quickly need to tell you that we must also emphasize a lot of domestic tourism promotion.
Okay, that again is something, yes, we have to, please, speak up on it, please.
Yeah. Domestic tourism promotion. You cannot be promoting international tourism, visitors to come to your country, when you yourselves...
Your own people cannot travel.
Cannot travel within Nigeria. We must be able to explore all the tourism attractions that Nigeria offers. Why do we have to be going to Dubai all the time? There is no... If I do a data analysis of Nigerians' movement, I'm sure 60% of Nigerians have visited Dubai.
And yet they have not visited Nigeria.
They've not visited Obudu Tourist Ranch, and it's safe. They've not visited Yankari National Park. It's now a national park. It's no longer a game reserve.
Yes.
It's been developed. It was developed during my time together with Governor Muazu. So it's not a national park. Game reserve is smaller. It's a mega one now. They've not visited that. They've not visited the Doba. Ikogosi Warm Spring, the Doba Festival. We just watch it on television. We must visit because we'll spend money. That's also bringing revenue. It's still part of the dollars you're talking about. It doesn't have to be money from overseas alone. It doesn't have to be money from overseas alone.
So it can actually be a domestic boost.
Exactly. We must boost domestic tourism to be able to make a success of international tourism. That's the point. They are intertwined. It's when Nigerians cultivate the culture, the habit of exploring Nigerians, Nigeria rather.
Adventurous, yes.
That's when they can talk proudly of their nation. If you don't explore what we have, how would you be able to market?
Okay, another thing before we let you go, because my producer is saying if I let you stay here, we are probably going to be here till tomorrow. The next thing...
Because I have answers to your question.
The next thing again, that my producer says we should profile as part of tourism and society is a culinary.
Yeah, yeah.
So what exactly do you think is the matter?
Yeah, for our culinary expertise,
yes,
we have what we call food tourism.
Yes.
And we have lots of rich delicacies. You and I know. I'm happy to let you know that it's not a story of doom, doom, doom. Yeah, it's not a story of doom, doom, doom. There's still some private sector people that has committed.
Yes.
Yeah, pushing, like myself, like a lot of people, like Princess, what's her name now? I didn't really. She has been hosting. She has been hosting fashion tourism together with culinary tourism in the UK, but all about our own fashion outfits. The Southwest outfit, the Northern
fabrics,
yes, already sewn, and she does this so well in the UK every year. And we have a lot of governors and governors' wives going with their people to also support that dream. And a lot of tourists from all over the world converge in London to witness it. So we must give that to her, promoting fashion tourism and culinary tourism. We need more people like that.
Okay, well, somebody from Kano actually said we would like to know how to reach you so they can see how they can package. So do we have a social media a number? Yes, can you give us a number, please, to our viewers?
Let me give them my email.
Okay.
omotayotosho@yahoo.com. Omotayo Tosho. That Tosho has H.
In it,
because there are some Omotoshos that do not have H, but mine has H. So, off the cuff, OMOTAYOTOSHO@yahoo.com.
Great. All right, so Tunde from Kano, thank you. I'm sure you can go to that email address so that you can make contact with her, and she'll get back to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a great time with you again.
Good to see you again, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you very much. And for our viewers, the conversation is never over in the studio. Go to all our social media handles. Go there and send in your own request or your comment with this great time that we had with Omotayo Omotosho, the Madam Tourism. Well, let me even call her the Queen of Tourism, because right now what she's doing is making sure that we let tourism and our society actually develop. Thank you so much for watching, and it's bye for now.
Just now, where we do not have connected to respect the law, we do not do Lagos State House Assembly at
The Game Reality Show Season 1, showing from Monday the 13th of June, 2022 on DSTV, Channel 369, on GoTV, Channel 114, on Star Times, Channel 104.
On NTA2 Lagos, streaming live 24/7 on YouTube, also on Facebook.
Time Monday, 10 p.m. Tuesday, 10 p.m. Wednesday, 10:30 p.m. Thursday,